Rich, another CSMMA fighter training with those Blackzilians, so you know he's prepared for this experience.
Yeah, Magnus Virgin, head instructor over there from CSMMA and owner, was big on Sasha Paletnikov. I talked to him at length about Sasha and his experience and what he brings in, and it's obviously well above what he felt was an amateur level, and so that's why he took the turn to push him up into the professional division. And what a way to start his career than with Fight Time Promotions here in Florida, #1 promotion, and he's got a lot of confidence coming in. I mean, you see he's in great shape, well-versed, training with those training partners, has him ready, and if he's anything like Travis Taylor, I'm sure we're in for a surprise.
Gotta love it. Paletnikov there at our prep point, getting ready for big debut here tonight, moving to the United States back in 2015. Prepared a long time for this moment. As he enters the cage, let's now get to know his opponent.
And now, fighting out of the red corner, Emmanuel Verdier.
My name is Bad News Verdier. I train out of TFL MMA, and I'm here to put on a show. For my opponent, hope you're ready to put on a fight.
Here is 23-year-old Emmanuel Verdier. Picked up his first professional victory back at Fight Time 34 in December, submitting Ty McLeod for that win. So the Fight Time cage has been a good luck charm for him so far here in his young career. Fighting out of Training for Life gym in Hollywood, Florida. We've had a lot of good fighters, Rich, from that gym come through the Fight Time Promotions ranks.
Yeah, Phil's always got him ready down there. They got Rafael Diaz, long time MMA veteran, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, training them on the ground, and it's been a nice mix for those guys. They've built themselves a nice team. Emmanuel Verdier, he had a nice victory in the last Fight Time 34, submission over Ty McLeod, and he looked ever improved. He came back from his pro debut where he suffered a tough knockout loss, but he rebounded nicely, and he showed a lot of resolve. You know, it's not easy to make your pro debut, lose in such a fashion, and then you got to come back. Obviously, there's a lot of doubts, and I think he answered them in his last fight. So now it'll be interesting to see what he brings in against a very highly touted Sasha Paletnikov.
Yeah, see if he can put a winning streak together. It's got to feel terrible coming off a pro loss, a first pro loss, but then to be able to score a submission win in your next fight must feel great. But he'll try and string that together into something more long-term here as Verdier lights. Bad News Verdier. I was about to call him Lights Out, but Bad News, the nickname there for Verdier. He'd like to hand some bad news to Paletnikov here this evening.
Yeah, you see him there, he looks focused, he looks ready.
Well, we'll take a look at some of the measurables here, Rich, in our tail of the tape.
And you know, the striking of Emmanuel Verdier and some of his reach could be a little bit of a factor. You know, he's got 2 fights coming in over Sasha. Sasha definitely well-rounded, training with the Blackzilians. I think he's got an edge as far as his training partners are concerned. We'll see if it plays a factor.
Well, let's make things official with Michael Atenito.
And now, fighting out of the blue corner, making his pro MMA debut, standing 6 feet 1 inches tall, weighing in at 185 pounds, fighting out of Hong Kong, Sasha the White Lotus Paletnikov. Now, fighting out of the red corner with a pro record of 1 win and 1 loss, standing 6 feet 2 inches tall. He weighed in at 185 pounds, fighting out of Hollywood, Florida, Emmanuel Bad News Verdier.
We'll go from one side of the world to the other with this one. Hong Kong versus Hollywood, Florida. Jorge Alonso will officiate this fight. He's giving the gentlemen their instructions in the center of the ring. Should be a very good middleweight bout here on tap. And away we go. Verdier in the long black trunks, Politnikov in the short gray trunks. Politnikov throwing the nice front kick to the body. That found the mark. What a relaxed striking stance he has, Rich.
Yeah, obviously showing a lot of confidence. Hands down, you got to be careful when you're in the mid-range where a guy can connect on you. Getting a little too flashy and relaxed. A guy like Manuel Verdier, he's got a lot of power in his own right. Sasha needs to respect that. And Sasha's karate background showing with the type of footwork and the versatility of his strikes that he's throwing right now. It's giving Bad News Verdier a little bit of a problem. He's trying to find his range and start his own offense.
Well, Rich, the fact that Sasha has not only been training in but competing in karate since he was 4 years old, you can see what a natural background he has. The movement is so fluid. You saw the head movement there, ducking and jiving away from those punches. But, he's taken down. Very nice slam there by Verdier, who winds up on top. We'll see how the ground skills come into play now.
Yeah, Manuel did a nice job staying composed in the face of all that plethora of striking. Is able to execute a beautiful takedown. Sasha Politnikov right back up to his feet, though.
Verdier still holding on to that underhook, trying to control the body there of Politnikov. We'll see if Verdier tries to complete a takedown. Oh, they're separate now, and nice. Politnikov landed a right hand on the break there. Threw a looping right hand that just missed. Would have sent his head into the third row had that one landed.
See, Manuel Verdier's got his lead hand a little bit low. He's got to be careful. Nice counter right hand over the top. He's dropping that left hand. Nice low kick by Verdier. You see these guys trying to figure each other out. Now it's the aggression again of Politnikov. Last time Verdier was able to make him pay for it with a nice takedown. We'll see if Sasha tries to time his strikes a little bit more intelligently rather than just kind of charging in.
Verdier's thrown a couple of nice jabs here in this opening round. We'll see if that's a weapon he goes back to, but I think he's had a little bit of trouble kind of gauging the timing and not knowing exactly where Politnikov is going to be. The movement has been so devious and so fluid so far here from Politnikov, who again moves forward. The left hook landed a couple of those. But the right hand landed. Nice punch by Verdier. Maybe the most solid punch we've had land so far here this evening.
I'll tell you what, Politnikov's output in the beginning and continuously it's a lot, and it's hard to keep up, and I wonder if he's starting to slow down just a little bit. You know, that's going to get even the best conditioned fighter tired if you're throwing all types of kicking, knee, spinning knee kicks, flying knees techniques like he's doing, and a lot of movement. See him slow down a little bit, and Manuel Verdier finding his range with those straight shots down the middle. Sasha keeping his hands down. He'd be wise to keep his guard up. Another one connects.
He's landed a couple of right hands here flush. Maybe the game plan for Verdier was patience. Weather that early storm, stand back, figure out your timing a little bit, and he's doing that. He's starting to pick his shots and land his shots. Jab just missed in the right hand, so good head movement there by Verdier, but that right hand landed. Verdier landed, though, a counter punch and another kick to the body. Politnikov did, and there he throws a jab after faking the right hand. Politnikov just missed with the left over the top, and a body kick landed by Verdier. Nearly cost him a takedown, but he's able to maintain his balance. Chopping low kick landed there by Politnikov. Verdier moving forward with a punch to the body.
There's still a lot of movement from Politnikov. Verdier being very patient, very intelligent. You see some of Politnikov's punches don't have that same type of sting they did in the opening minute of the fight, and it looks like his mouthpiece gets knocked out.
It's like the mouthpiece there of...
Is that Emmanuel's or is that Sasha's? I can't tell.
Yeah, I couldn't tell. I think it is Emmanuel's. Yeah, it was Emmanuel's mouthpiece. It wasn't a flush punch that landed, but I guess he took his eye off the ball for just a second, and when that right hand landed by Politnikov, he was able to knock that mouthpiece out. They cleaned it off, which is always nice. And the action resumes here. A couple of jabs there pumped. Politnikov ducks under, throws a front kick. It's been a weapon he's gone back to. Rinse and repeat. Superman punch, but Verdier able to regain his composure and avoid allowing that one to land. Uppercut to the body.
It's been Emmanuel Verdier's straight punches that have given Sasha Politnikov a lot of problems. You know, he stands in there with his hands down like he does in the mid-range, and a guy like Verdier, he's got long reach, and he's tagging Sasha. Oh, big body kick to Verdier. Was it low? Looks like Jorge Alonso gave him the south of the border gesture.
To the peninsula south of the equator.
It looked like a body kick from where we were sitting. He had his back to us. Obviously, it wasn't. He could get his time to recover, and I think it'll actually...
Let's take a look at the replay here from Frog Fitness.
Just catches it.
Yeah, I would say it grazed the top of the cup there, Rich, but Verdier's ready to go. The action resumes here at the War Memorial Auditorium. Verdier pumping out the jab once again. Going low there was Politnikov. Just ducking the head out of the way there was Verdier, dodging a couple of shots. Sasha goes for another Superman punch, couldn't find the mark. Nice little uppercut on the break landed by Verdier, and a left hand hit him right on the chin.
Tell you what, Sasha's got to watch walking in like that. Emmanuel made him pay, landed some nice punches. And you see the karate background in Sasha Politnikov, always coming in, very quick, powerful strikes, one burst, and then he finds himself in the close range, and that's where Emmanuel Verdier is starting to counter him and have some success on the inside with his striking in those straight punches.
Clean right hand landed shortly before the bell by Emmanuel Verdier. Really a tale of two parts of that opening round. The early part was controlled by Sasha Politnikov, and then Emmanuel Verdier, his perseverance and his technique came through and changed the tide of that fight.
Bill, I think as Sasha started to slow down a little bit, I mean, his output was insane for the first minute of that round.
Let's take a look at our first round replay brought to you by Frog Fitness. Both men getting instructions there in the corner. Sasha Politnikov, and oh, here's our replay from the first round. Jumping knee landed in the gut there by Politnikov. One of the better strikes landed. Clean right hand landed there by Verdier, and that's the left hand that knocked the mouthpiece out of Verdier. Landed by Politnikov. A couple of fireworks there at the end of the round as well. That was that clean right that Verdier landed. Second round underway. Fight time 36. See who's got the cardio here to really persevere in this fight. Low kick, just grazed there by Verdier. Another front kick to the body by Politnikov. Still the footwork there by Politnikov. A couple of jabs pumped out by Verdier, a right hand as well. Chopping low kick there by Politnikov.
So Emmanuel Verdier, though, he's doing the right thing in the face of a guy who's displaying a lot of striking techniques, a lot of various footwork, stance changes. He's just staying basic, staying in his stance, staying disciplined. Oh, we see Politnikov trying to push him for the takedown. Interesting that the striker has decided maybe he wants to put this fight on the ground. You see him leaking from his right cheek. Presses in for the double again. Still, he's not able to slide the hands down onto the thighs or towards the knees to try to execute that takedown, and comes up empty on the last two.
Low kick caught. Thought about the takedown, but didn't follow through with it as Politnikov, and another grazing left hand right to that cut under the right eye there from Politnikov. Doesn't look deep enough to be a problem here, but it's something we'll keep watching as he ducks under and locks up the body there of Verdier. They're pressed up right for our broadcast position. Takedown completed by Politnikov, who has the back. He's got a hook in, Rich. This could be trouble for Verdier.
Yeah,
oh, but no, he's trying to slide out of it.
Nicely done getting the hips back around for Emmanuel Verdier. Sasha staying tight to him. And beautiful job by Emmanuel Verdier getting himself back to his feet. It was a nice takedown off of his head movement and striking by Sasha Politnikov, but he comes up empty. And now we start to see the pace of this fight turn up big. Big uppercut from a Bad News Verdier.
Shortly after, a couple of clean punches that landed by Politnikov, but Verdier, he's been the more accurate striker. Nice uppercut as Politnikov was ducking his head under, maybe thinking about a takedown, but when you've got uppercuts flying from your opponent, it's going to make you think twice. Another one just missed the body there. The low kick, swing and a miss there from Politnikov, and a perfect jab on the counter by Verdier. That was beautiful.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Politnikov is starting to look busted up. And Verdier has been connecting. The tempered attack of Emmanuel Verdier is starting to take its toll on Sasha Politnikov. Obviously, Sasha in unbelievable shape. I mean, you see the output, but he's starting to look a little tired and fatigued to me. We'll see if Emmanuel's been keeping a little extra gas in the tank, how that's going to play a factor as we go down the second half of this fight.
Verdier has not wasted any energy in this fight. The footwork has been clean. He's never off balance. The economy of motion has been great. Kick to the body, but now Politnikov had maybe conserved some energy for a push. But a left hand thrown there, a jab by Verdier. We'll see if another flurry is in order as Politnikov just missed with a pretty big right.
Yeah, Manuel Verdier keeps that lead hand a little lower than I'd like to see him holding it. And that's where that right hand can find a home on the chin. When he finds it on the right spot, that could sound trouble.
Well, past the midway point of this fight as the left hook landed there and a beautiful right hand over the top by Verdier. Verdier, another shot, the overhand right, finding its mark. Becoming target practice here for Emmanuel Verdier. Now a mouthpiece is out. That one is Politnikov's.
No,
and a big uppercut to the body.
It's Verdier's again, that blue mouthpiece. Sasha waning bombs, but he's coming up short on those strikes. And, you know, every time you miss, it takes a little bit out of your win. And now Verdier's got his back. See if he tries to take it to the ground. You see Sasha Politnikov working that Kimura grip. Now he's dropping down to the ground. Emmanuel Verdier doing the right thing, staying heavy there. And now he finds himself mounting Sasha Politnikov. And we'll see what kind of ground defense in this position Sasha can offer. He's put out a lot of energy. Emmanuel Verdier has effectively started to take over this fight with his counter-striking and his boxing. Sasha seemed to get a little tired, and now coming up, being
Verdier
mounted here. Yeah, big shots from Verdier.
Right hands to the side of the head. He's got about 45 seconds to work with here in the second round. The short elbow dropping out of the chin. He's constricting that breathing there of Politnikov. Now he's posturing up and throwing down the bombs from the heavens. Here they come. Left hands to the face. Turning around, giving up his back there is Politnikov. Will he stretch him out? Yes, he does. And now more punches fall to the side of the head. Nearly 30 seconds to work with here for Verdier. Does he have enough time to put this fight away? And there it is. TKO victory. Late second round stoppage for Emmanuel Verdier as he moves his pro record now, Rich, to 2-1. He's put together that winning streak that we're talking about.
And what a great performance by the up-and-coming Emmanuel Bad News Verdier against the highly touted amateur prospect, Sasha Politnikov. Tough fight for Sasha. I think both men obviously will take a lot away from this fight. It seemed to be that as the fight went on, Sasha's output started to catch up with him. He wasn't able to put Emmanuel away, and Emmanuel's tempered striking attack started to be more effective. Bust him up. He looked for the ground battle. Unsuccessful. Tried with the Kimura attempt.
Let's take a look at the finish here to this fight. Replay brought to you by Audi of Fort Lauderdale.
And you see it right there in the mount position. Emmanuel Verdier raining down the bomb. Sasha was not able to execute the mount escape, picking aside and try to get to the half guard. Emmanuel heavy on top. I think fatigue at that point played a big factor as well. And big shots from Emmanuel Verdier. Congratulations to Bad News. Beautiful performance and win number 2 in a row.
Well, Bad News created some good news for himself here this evening. Really, the patience paid off. For the first 2 minutes of that fight, it didn't look like Politnikov could be beaten. The way that he was moving, the way he was dodging his head, the footwork, the head movement, the strikes he was landing. But Verdier's patience was able to stand, find his balance, find his timing, and then the pinpoint accurate shots started landing. There was really nothing that Politnikov could do after that point. Let's get the official announcement here from our ring announcer, Michael Latinito.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Sasha Politnikov and Emmanuel Verdier. Referee Jorge Alonso calls a stop to this fight at 4 minutes and 40 seconds of round number 2. Winner by TKO, Emmanuel Verdier.
Let's get our post-fight interview here with Rich Atenito.
All right, I'm here. Congratulations, Emmanuel Bad News Verdier. Unbelievable performance. Second professional win in a row. You came in against a very highly skilled striker and had a great amateur career such as yourself. Opened up real heavy on you. Came out with a high output. You were able to stay calm, pick your shots, start to counter them, and take over the fight as it moved on through that second round. Tell us how you're feeling about your performance.
Yeah, Charles is a warrior. He came with those front kicks and had me, those hurt. I think he broke my forearm with the front kicks. I tried to counter him, thought about the takedown, but we were very slippery in here, so, but Shasa, you're a warrior. Thank you for this opportunity.
Your straight shots seem to be, those straight punches, your jabs, your right crosses seem to be what you had a lot of success with. After he kind of slowed down from his high output, did you start to get onto his timing? Did you feel like you started to time him better? Because you started to really open it up with a lot of strikes. I mean, he was throwing a lot of stuff at you.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't know what he was doing. He was feinting. Very good stand-up. I was surprised, so surprised.
Well, it was a great performance by you. We got a nice gift for you. Deborah from Frog Fitness going to present you with the bag. $500 cold, hard cash from our sponsor, Frog Fitness. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Emmanuel Bad News Verdier. Go get that arm checked out. Take it away, Alex.
Congratulations there to Emmanuel Verdier. Jumps on the top of the cage in celebration, waving that $500 in the air. He's certainly thrilled with this one. Let's take a look at a replay brought to you by Frog Fitness. There he is on top in the full mount. Dropping down the ground and pound. His opponent, Politnikov, gave up his back. Was all but academic at that point. Had about 15 seconds to spare in that second round as he's looking here for the finish. Jorge Alonso, the referee, right up in that to ensure fighter safety, and there he is, waving it off, signaling a TKO victory for Emmanuel Verdier. Impressive performance here tonight. We'll be right back after a word from these sponsors with our next bout coming up.
Just shots. Plan your escape at sunny.org.
Next bout of the evening, let's bring in our ring announcer, Michael Attanito.
All right, Fort Lauderdale. Ladies and gentlemen, as a reminder, no videotaping and no flash photography. For our next fight, fighting out of the blue corner, Matthew Calhoun.
My name is Matthew Calhoun. I'm fighting out of CS MMA and Blitzillions, and tonight I'm preparing for a first-round knockout.
Here is the Jamaican prodigy, Matthew Calhoun. He's 23 years old, making his way to the Fight Time cage, making the walk here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Been wanting to become a fighter, Rich, since he watched Forrest Griffin and Stephen Bonner at the finale of The Ultimate Fighter, the first season back in 2005. I'm sure that fight has inspired at least a few hundred professional MMA fighters. So many people caught on that day. All your friends were texting you and calling you, got to turn on that fight at that point in time when they were really throwing the haymakers at one another. It certainly made a fan and a future fighter out of Matthew Calhoun.
Yeah, I mean, that was